morning, Strivers, and happy Tuesday. Hope everyone is making it a great day so far. I was reading my personal development this morning, or starting to read it this morning, and had like a flash of insight that I felt like I needed to share with y'all. Okay, to back up a little bit, for some reason I get Redbook magazine as a subscription. I'm not sure who set me up with this, but thank you. This month, the cover story was with Kristen Bell, who's an actress who I dig. I've enjoyed her work since Veronica Mars. A long time ago, we used to be friends. Okay, but anyway, so Kristen Bell in this article was talking about raising her kids. One's a toddler, one's like 5 or 6 or something. And she was saying that a big thing that she learned about parenting and about parenting toddlers is that when toddlers throw tantrums, very often it is because they feel like they're in a situation that they do not have the toolkit to deal with. That they're in a situation where they feel overwhelmed and they start clawing and spitting and acting a fool to try to get themselves out of it. And when I read that about how toddlers react when they're overwhelmed, I started thinking, well, honestly, that's how adults act too. That's just kind of a human thing, that when we're in over our heads or we feel like we're in a situation where we don't have control or we don't have the tools to deal with it, that we often end up clawing and spitting and freaking out and acting a fool. And then I started thinking about all the times that I have thrown my own middle-aged 30-something tantrums, and the times that I have that I've needed to remember that God is gracious to me in the midst of my tantrums, and that God calls me to be gracious to other people in the midst of their tantrums. And so that leads to the personal development I was reading today, which wasn't Redbook, but the personal development book I'm reading right now is called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Great book, recommend it highly. And in the book, Jen Sincero was talking about how in order to move forward with your life, you need to embrace forgiveness. And that often a good way to embrace forgiveness of someone who has wronged you or someone who has basically thrown a temper tantrum in your face or in your space or at your being is to think of that person as a little kid. And then that got me thinking that, again, as a Christian, I have thrown my own temper tantrums. I will throw more in the future. Unfortunately, it's kind of a given of being human, but that I really, really relish the fact that I can trust that God in Christ shows grace and mercy to me in the midst of me acting like a effing idiot. But then it also reminds me that as a person of faith, I'm called to be graceful and show grace to other people who are acting the fool. And that led to a string of cursing and a blue streak of cursing that could have peeled the paint off the walls, which is often how my life of faith works. That, I get this insight from God and I start cussing like crazy because I realize the ramifications of it. But that was the flash of insight that I wanted to share with you. Remember that God and other people and you yourself need to show some grace to yourself when you're in the midst of situations where you have clawed and spit and thrown temper tantrums, but that also you are called and you can only move forward in your life if you can also strive to show that grace to other people in the midst of their temper tantrums. So I just want you to think about the temper tantrums that you've thrown in your life, whether it's, over your financial situation or your work situation or romance or relationships or spiritual or physical or whatever it is. And when you've tried to change or when things have changed around you and you feel like, inarticulate rage. And that God has shown grace to you and other people have shown grace to you, and that other people, when they've been screaming in an inarticulate rage, that you have a chance to show grace to them. So just think about that. If you like this video, please, like it, share it, subscribe, like my page, all that stuff so you can get all these updates. And remember, you are already awesome. Your life is meant to be a jaw-dropping adventure. Now is the time to start living it out, and Team Strive is in your corner. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Make it a great day, everyone. Bye for now.